Hello students, today you are going to use your building blocks book number 2 and you are going to look for your page 21. You are going to listen the story about the Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time there was a dear little girl who was loved by her grandmother, and there was nothing that she would not have given to the child. Once she gave her a little riding hood of red velvet, which suited her so well that she would never wear anything else. So she was always called Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother said to her, "Come, Little Red Riding Hood, here is a piece of cake and some fruit. Take them to your grandmother. She is sick and weak, and they will do her good. Go before it gets hot, and do not run off the path. When you go into her room, don't forget to say good morning." "I will go there now," said Little Red Riding Hood to her mother. The grandmother lived in the woods. Just as Little Red Riding Hood entered the wood, a wolf met her. Little Red Riding Hood did not know what a wicked creature he was, and was not at all afraid of him. "Good day, Little Red Riding Hood," said he. "Thank you, kindly wolf. Where are you going so early, Little Red Riding Hood?" asked the wolf. "To my grandmother's house," she said. "What do you have in the basket?" asked he. "Cake and fruit for my poor sick grandmother," she said. "Where does your grandmother live, Little Red Riding Hood?" "In the woods. Her house stands under the 3 large oak trees. The nut trees are just below." "You surely must know it," replied Little Red Riding Hood. So he walked for a short time by the side of the Little Red Riding Hood, and then he said, "See, Little Red Riding Hood, how pretty the flowers are about here." Little Red Riding Hood raised her eyes and said, "I will take grandmother some flowers." So she ran into the woods to look for flowers. Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to the grandmother's house and knocked the door. "Who is there?" asked the grandmother. "It's me, the Little Red Riding Hood," said the wolf. "I am bringing you some cake and fruit. Open the door." "The door is open. Come in," called out the grandmother. The wolf opened the door, and without saying a word, he went straight to the grandmother's bed and locked her in the closet. Then he put on her clothes, dressed himself in her cap, laid himself in bed, and waited. Little Red Riding Hood finished picking flowers and set out the way to her grandmother's house. She was surprised to find the cottage door standing open, and she went into the room. She called out, "Good morning," but received no answer. So she went to the bed, and there laid her grandmother with her cap pulled far over her face and looking very strange. "Oh, grandmother," she said, "what big ears you have!" "All the better to hear you, my child," was the reply. "But grandmother, what big eyes you have!" she said. "All the better to see you, my dear." "But grandmother, what large hands you have!" "All the better to hug you with." "Oh, but grandmother, what a terrible mouth you have! All the better to eat you with." And when the wolf said this, He jumped out the bed. Little Red Riding Hood started screaming, and a huntsman who was just passing by the house went in. The little girl started crying. "Oh, how frightened I have been." Then the grandmother came out from the closet, and all of three were delighted. The huntsman scared the wolf away and then ate the cake and fruit with the grandmother and the Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood went home and she never saw the wolf again. That will be the story of the Little Red Riding Hood. Now you are going to write each of the characters on your English notebook. Have a nice day.